Mario Party is one of the simplest games you can think of. Roll the dice, gather the stars, destroy your friends in a series of capitalistic minigames where you monopolize the board and sever lifelong bonds as you leech onto the dark, twisted desires of our inner humanity. But did you know there's a Mario Party that you've never heard of? It was either this or the Mario Party arcade in Japan. This is Mario Party E, and before you say anything, yes, this is an official game in the Mario Party timeline. I mean, with all of these different games in the series, can you really expect Nintendo not to do something weird like throw party lore into a card game? For those less educated, this came out in 2003 by the way of Nintendo's e-reader, a Game Boy Advance peripheral that you'd hook into your system to get in-game loot and special events. Most people remember this commercial failure by way of these classic cards. You could scan different cards to play little bite-sized versions of your favorite NES classics, or get in-game items like with the Eon ticket and special event Pokemon in Ruby and Sapphire. All you have to do is line up these dots on the card reader and slide them across the screen. Once you do that, slide your card 6 more times because it barely works half the time, flip it over 180 degrees and do it again because there's 2 different sides of this card you have to scan, and there you go! One bite-sized microgame to pacify your time for the next 30 or so seconds.
No, I hadn't played the e-reader as a child, but I had played all the Mario Parties to date. Mario Party 1 set the foundation while giving people blisters. 2 and 3 built on that foundation and expanded the gameplay while adding costumes, mini-game types, and every quirky white guy's favorite character. While 4 gave us the most polished entry in the series to date and the biggest game in the series so far. So how in the world do you take this concept and turn it into a card game?
Are you gonna get that?
Hiya, Papaya. You wanted me to come over for some kind of party?
It's just a good old-fashioned Mario Party.
So we all know the rules of Mario Party. It's a digital board game. Imagine a normal game of Monopoly where you roll the dice and advance your character each round, just with the 4-player deathmatch in between each turn. The goal is to make it to the star. Whoever has the most stars at the end of the game is crowned the superstar. Mario Party E, on the other hand, plays out more like your traditional card game. Imagine something kind of like Uno, except all the rules are different and it's nothing like Uno.
Switch, we've been through this before.
I literally do not have Uno.
You have Uno on your Switch. We've
Uno
been
on
over
my
this
Switch.
so many times. It comes free on your Switch.
No, it doesn't. I've seen it in the eShop.
Some people find joy in making 10-year-old memes about a game that everyone has on their phone.
Known to man,
Some people find joy in going to parties and eating the charcuterie board. I'm some people.
Mario Party E has 64 cards in the deck, with each one being associated with something you'd find in the Mario universe. The cards feel really nice. The game board has a nice aesthetic to it and lays out everything really neatly while still keeping that Mario charm, but you can tell this was made on a very strict budget. Almost all of these textures and designs are ripped straight out of Mario Party 4. This is your first non-console release for a Mario Party game. You'd think that Nintendo, with their failing GameCube budget, would at least try to make something that would sell people on the e-reader and make them want to buy this game.
No.
The end goal here is to play one of the 4 superstar cards. Much like in traditional Mario Party, you have to pay to be able to use it. To do these, each character must play one of each of these superstar clothes. You need to have Mario's cap, Mario's shoes, and Mario's overalls. Once a player has the entire Mario wardrobe in their possession, they can then play the superstar card, and that will allow that player to win the game.
But if there's 4 superstar cards, that means we need a 4th player.
Oh, don't worry. I've got somebody coming.
You see, you can play with 4 people if you want to.
All right, guys. Brought a special friend of mine. Say hello.
Am I allowed to cuss? Who in the fuck?
He's good now. He's fine. He tried to kill me. He could have killed you. Oh, yeah, but he's like a former criminal. And he's like, it's all good. He went through a program and now he's fine. He's good. He's good. What program? I can talk.
So for those who don't know, Lance, formerly Caster, and I are not on speaking terms right now. Last fall, he decided that he was gonna, kill 20 people, including a attempt at his Xalem side, and I'd say right now, kind of like a 4 out of 10 on the friendship scale.
We put him in a charity program where we help criminals and get them back on their feet.
Okay, so you couldn't have chosen a better charity, like I don't know, children?
Well, Children don't pay taxes. Plus, look, he's a changed man.
I'm a changed man.
Okay, but he's still gonna try to kill us.
He's not gonna try to kill you. He has a heart of gold now.
Heart of gold.
Are you gonna be okay with knowing that if I die, that's gonna be on your conscience?
He's not gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill him.
So each player starts out with 5 cards, each one having a different type of ability. Coins are just a form of currency. You use those to play more powerful cards, such as the aforementioned Mario shoes.
You do know we have a charcuterie board, right?
Most cards are pretty self-explanatory, literally. Exchange all the cards in your hands with an opponent, take up to 3 coins, but we managed to happen upon a Waluigi card, which, judging by the little dots on the side, gives us our first e-reader battle.
All right, but we haven't decided who's gonna go first.
All right, so normally however you decide is who's goes first. Oh my god, he's got a gun!
Oh no, this isn't a gun, it's a pair of dice.
Oh, thank god.
That's concealing a bomb.
So instead of each player taking turns and having one collective minigame at the end of the rounds, minigames come whenever somebody activates a dot card. Each player then proceeds to play the game described on the dot card, usually with the reward being if you win, you get the perk. If you lose, nothing happens.
I'm gonna play Pot of Greed, which allows me to draw 2 additional cards.
As for the minigames, I gotta say, I was pretty hesitant about Game Boy minigames at first. Some of them are fairly simple, like this one where you have to blow up the balloon as much as you can without bursting it, but most of these games feel like WarioWare titles with a fresh coat of Mario paint slapped on top of it. There's this one where you have to pop Goombas as soon as they come out of the pipe. That's a good one, but I really like this one where you get to run around and avoid the hammers Waluigi throws down at you while you gather as many coins as possible.
Speaking of hammers, could you guys point me to the nearest charcuterie board? So you really have to confuse your victims, keep them on their toes. That way when they're distracted by the food, you give them a good meal and a salt, just like a Waffle House.
I can't believe you've done this. You know how I feel about homicides.
Man, I understand, truly, but if it makes you feel any better, I genuinely could not care less.
But you know he's gonna be in there trying to kill me. You know, we've been through all of this.
Xalem is a skeptic, an idiot, a moron, a dumbass, asshole, but there's like a small, tiny little baby part of him that's kind of intelligent, I think. I kind of like sitting in his chair though. That's not even a real window!
He's probably in there talking about how he's gonna kill me right now.
So yeah, there's this place, it's called Waffle House.
Can we just get back to talking about Mario Party?
Now, one major thing when adapting this board game into a card game is you don't really have spaces, so many games can't be separated according to 4-player, 2v2, or the worst way to play Mario Party. Thankfully though, there are still other character cards as well. We've gotta keep this party engaging somehow. Boo can be used to take a coin card from another person's hand. Big Boo lets you take all of their coins, so long as you win the duel in the minigame. Bob-omb reshuffles all of the cards in the player's hands, similar to... Don't play this game on an airplane. Koopa allows you to play IRS and take 1 coin card from each of the opponent's hands. We always talk about how Bowser is the villain of Mario, but I mean, come on. Is there anything more evil than late-stage capitalism? Shy Guy lets you take one of your opponent's cards without looking at it, and now that I'm looking at all of these cards, it is becoming very obvious that these are all rip-offs from Mario Party 4. I mean, come on, they're wearing the exact same outfits!
Did I hear somebody mention something about food in here?
Yeah, we're actually just talking about the charcuterie board. We are all very aware it's not called a charcuterie board. I just say it for the laughs. It's pronounced charcuterie.
They got a meal on sale. It's a special, if you will. $7.99.
Well, hell, that place sounds fantastic. What's that place called?
It's called Waffle House.
Bowser has his own card as well, essentially taking on the roulette wheel role that we've seen him play in Mario Party's past. As far as creating a credible Mario Party experience, the game does a fairly good job at emulating everything that a Mario Party should be doing as a card game. The mini-games are simple and easy to understand. All of the art and assets takes cues from the mainline series with aesthetic nods to older games.
See, normally this is about the time where I come in and say something negative about the game, so, it doesn't say new record like they do in the mainline series. Thanks.
The game does a great job at capturing that Mario Party feel, but something that's almost impossible to do in a card game is make it simple and easy to understand. Mario Party is one of the simplest games you can find. You pop it in, you play one turn, and you get it. You understand the entire basis of the game with each of the twists and turns, the mini games, the different spaces explaining themselves along the way. But explaining the essence of a card game to somebody who's never played it before? Hell, I've been explaining this for the last few minutes and I still barely know how to play. Not to say it doesn't do a good job though, all of the cards are laid out in a simple, easy to understand way. Granted, you've got to have a little bit more upkeep to stay on top of everything with what's going on the game board. With that being said, it's honestly not as bad as having to scan the e-reader every time you want to play a minigame. Like yeah, it's a nice piece of history, but I would be lying if it wasn't aggravating having to constantly move back and forth playing minigames on this thing. I wouldn't be opposed to just having a normal minigame inside of Mario Party 4 and then just buy the cards separately. But nah, Nintendo wanted to see if they could sell this bad boy.
Are you guys gonna come back in here? Like, are we still doing Mario Party, or are we putting our focus towards the charcuterie board?
Xalem, look, I know that's like, you want to go back to Mario Party, but this is kind of way more important. There's a place, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, it's a little dive up the road called Waffle House.
You know, my probation officer told me not to, but I'm gonna kill him. I mean, I'm still gonna kill him. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I'm gonna kill him.
Get the fuck out of my house!
It's on sale. I think it's like $7.99. Can't beat it. You get your choice, your meats, your eggs, your toast. And the waiters are crap.